I was addicted to marijuana. I was addicted to alcohol. I was addicted to cigarettes. I was addicted to prescription drugs that weren't prescribed to me. So anything that I could get my hands on, essentially, I was addicted to. And my daughter had walked in the room and handed me my drugs. And the way she said it when she handed it to me, hey, Daddy, you know, you need this. This will get you up. This will get you out of bed. I knew at that point my life had hit rock bottom. I had fallen down so low that getting up didn't even cross my mind. And at that time, it had crossed my mind that I had to make a life change, and that's what I did.
As a practicing physician, I wanted to create a place that folks could go to that not only delivers great health information in a way that's understandable and useful, but also share inspirational stories to help us all grow. People think that once you're adults, you're done learning. You're not. In order to be successful, you have to have an open mind to learn. Real problems discussed in depth with real solutions. This is the Dr. Nandi Show. Hi everyone, welcome to the Dr. Nandi Show, and today I'm talking about simple workouts for all ages. Now that does not mean you need to head to the gym. A lot of my experts today will be sharing movements you can do in your very home, which is exciting to me. And the reason why I'm dedicating an entire show to this topic is because it's shocking how we've all seemingly turned into a bunch of couch potatoes. 2 large-scale studies found that Americans are moving less and sitting more. So despite the fact that many of you know you need to move, you just are not doing it. Now I know what you're thinking, don't have the time, working too much, too tired, I have this, I have that. I get it. With our busy lives, there are endless reasons to not work out. But wait until you hear from my first guest. Will was struggling with addiction and grief following the deaths of 2 close family members. Then something happened that changed his life completely around. His amazing story is up next.
I would lay in bed from the night before to 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon after being up all night getting high to 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning.
Welcome back. You are watching the Dr. Nandi Show. And my personal goal today is to motivate all of you. And I think my next guest really is going to help me with that very goal. Now, just before the break, you heard from Will Guyan's amazing story. A few years ago, he struggled with addiction. He was also dealing with grief after his brother and his cousin died. And then one day, his little girl picked up his drugs and said, Daddy, I think you need this. And in that moment, he knew that he needed to change. And Will, you know, that's an amazing time when your little girl said that. Tell me what happened and what made you change. You actually quit cold turkey, didn't you?
Cold turkey. For me, it was the height of when my brother had passed away that it became my height of addiction. And for me, it was just, I wanted to be an example to my daughter. I decided at that point in time, well, let's go back a little bit. I was addicted to marijuana. I was addicted to alcohol. Wow. I was addicted to cigarettes. I was addicted to prescription drugs that weren't prescribed to me. And that became my thing. I wanted to feel numb because my brother was only 41 years old when he passed away.
I'm sorry.
Shortly after that, my cousin, whom was my best friend, who was a pallbearer at my brother's funeral,
oh my gosh.
He was 29 years old. He was killed by a drunk driver on his motorcycle. And his last words to me were, "Cuz, we're gonna get through this thing with your brother." So I felt completely alone.
Almost. Yeah.
So it got to a point where I was so far gone that getting up really didn't even cross my mind. And I remember, for instance, the movie The Pursuit of Happiness.
Yeah.
I would always watch that, Will Smith.
Yeah.
And what inspired me the most about that movie was that he had his son the entire time of the journey. His child was with him every single step of the way. And for many parents like myself, especially of a 6-year-old daughter now, I had to find it within myself to say, if you don't care enough about yourself, you have to care enough about your child to make a change in your life. And that's what I wanted to do. When my daughter walked in one day on my many binges, because I couldn't get up from the bed, I would lay in bed from the night before to 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon after being up all night getting high to 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. And that moment when she said, "Here, Daddy, you need this. This will get you up." that's that rock bottom that many of us parents and people need to just rise back to the top. And I made it a point in my life, this is it.
And your kids, here's parents, if you're watching, kids see everything.
That's right.
And for your child, that was normal. That's what she knew dad as. And you quit cold turkey, but you did more, right?
Right.
You decided to do what? Make fitness a part of your life. Tell us about that.
Absolutely. Well, I started a group called the Warlords of Fitness on Facebook.
The Warlords of Fitness. That's nice.
It originally started for me and my family and friends. I just wanted to get my aunts and uncles in the swing of fitness. Our family wasn't exactly raised on wellness.
Yes.
We were raised in the fast food,
yes,
you know, eat as much as you can while you can kind of family. And I wanted to flip that narrative within my family. So I started off just family and friends, especially in the African American community. 1980, the leading cause of death in African Americans was heart disease.
Yes.
In 2019, the leading cause of death for African Americans is still heart disease. What does that come from? Lack of exercise, a lot of it, smoking, drinking, alcohol, and I wanted to flip that narrative. So I started this group just to get my family motivated. Let's do a 30-day challenge.
Okay.
Commit to the fit. That's one we got going right now.
Fit. Okay.
Let's commit to the fit. Give me 30 days of proper meditation. I started teaching them about yoga. I started teaching them about aerobics. I wanted to grab that mother with 3 kids who couldn't get to the gym, who had to go to this daycare to pick up one child, who had to go to another daycare to pick up another child. Then she goes home, she gets a glass of wine, she finds her favorite show on her favorite streaming device, and that's it. Then she starts over for the very next day. I wanted to change that.
And it helped you with your addiction as well, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, here's the thing that people think. It's definitely about therapy. It's definitely about, you know, going to see your doctor, but it's also about activity, right?
Absolutely.
You know, and it changes everything. I've talked about many shows about the microbiome. Those are the trillions of bugs in your intestine.
Right.
And physical activity and spirituality, like yoga, like any activity, like meditation, prayer, all changes your microbiome. And then I think you have a shot. What the nice thing is that everything you're talking about can be done in your home. You don't need to go get a fancy $500 gym membership, right?
Absolutely. And I wanted to make sure people understood about the natural highs that come from it. Because for me, it was the relief. I just wanted to feel not bad about what's going on in the everyday life. I don't want to feel bad about this person at work that I'm not getting along with necessarily, or this subliminal feeling that I'm having during the day for whatever reason. Like, you ever go on let's just say a YouTube, and you're watching this video of this kid who's singing a song. The world became a place at one time, and very much so still is, that people were gravitating to negativity.
Correct.
So you watch this video of, let's just say, a kid singing. I saw the other day this little girl, she was singing Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah.
She's like 1.5 years, right? And I'm looking at the comments, and I don't understand. There's 700-800 people that thumbed down the video.
Correct. Like, why would they do that?
Now the thing is, sure, people make mistakes. There's people not so tech savvy, but what is the thing? You don't like the car seat this child is sitting in? So I wanted to flip that narrative. Let's start getting, and it's because people are unhappy inside.
Correct.
Dopamine, as you know, doctor, gives you this natural feeling. Endorphins gives you this beautiful natural high. Serotonin gives you this beautiful natural high. I wanted to flip that into everyday lives of everyday people.
And using activity, exercise to secrete that dopamine.
Absolutely.
Amazing stuff. Thank you, Will. You're teaching a lot of people and affecting our lives, you know, and so I appreciate you coming on.
Thank you, Dan.
Coming up next, you may want to get your sneakers on, because my next guest is going to teach us what he calls big bang exercises. I'm not sure what's coming up, but you should stay tuned, because that sounds good.
So we all know this one, but I like to work the booty. That's what we got to do. So it's not just a normal lunge. We're going to add a little capoeira, Brazilified. Here we go.
Welcome back. You are watching the Dr. Nandi Show. It's a really fun show so far. I'm loving it. Now, I'm really passionate about simple workouts because I know all the great things that movement can do for you, your mind, and your body. Now, and the same really goes for my next guest. He's an international fitness expert and a celebrity trainer on The Biggest Loser, Season 11. He's also the CEO and founder of Sweat with Soul. I love that. A movement driven to inspire healthy and intentional living. Brett says that, quote unquote, fitness isn't a look, it's a feeling. Please welcome my friend, Brett Hoebel. All right.
What's up?
That's a pleasure.
Thank you for having me back. I really appreciate it.
Oh, man, you're an inspiration. So tell me, you say that fitness is really not a look, but a feeling. Why is that important to you?
You know, I grew up as an overweight kid. I got teased a lot for being overweight. I didn't like my body, but fitness was my freedom. And I'm telling you, man, it was from the inside out. And I really believe most people are training these days because they hate their body, not because they love it. And they got to remember, you only got one body, you got to take care of it.
And you know, and a lot of my patients who try to work out when they hate doing it are unsuccessful. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, because they're looking at it only as an aesthetic.
Correct.
But fitness, it's like a conduit to a more empowered life.
That's awesome. And you've made it easier. A lot of people have excuses. Too busy, do this, got too much to do. I got to look at my social media messages, right? I got to keep up with what people are saying. But you've created 20-minute workouts. Tell me about that.
So these workouts, you can do them in 20 minutes. That's less time than people are on their social media, to be honest.
Yes, way less.
So my sister, one of my older sisters, is a mom, and she kept saying, your workouts that I was saying are too long. I cut them down to 20 minutes, and that was like the sweet spot for her. She actually really helped me change the program. It used to be called the 30-minute body. She wasn't doing them. Now it's a 20-minute body. But that's the thing. Short, intense workouts get better results, not only because the effort is higher, they fit into people's schedules better.
I love your passion. Now you've got two young ladies. You're going to show us some amazing workouts, and they're called Big Bang exercises. I'm a little worried, but let's do it.
So the Big Bang exercises are exercises that recruit multiple muscle groups, upper, lower body, and core. They're going to get you stronger, and they're going to burn more calories.
Awesome,
so the
let's do
first
it.
move coming out, we're going to start with a lunge. You guys have seen this 3, 2, 1. So we all know this one, but I like to work the booty. That's what we got to do. So it's not just a normal lunge. We're going to add a little capoeira, Brazilified. Here we go. We're going to duck a kick, because this Brazilian martial art, we are ducking a kick. And when you get down this low and you bring your trunk down here, you've now turned a lunge. Time. Can I get around a pound? Boom, boom.
Boom, Brazilian booty lunge.
Into a Big Bang exercise. Now the next one coming
Yes,
up,
sir.
those are for the legs. Let's go to the abs. We're going to come down into a plank. You've seen this one before. We're on plank, but if I want to add more abs and a little bit of booty, this capoeira move is called the scorpion kick. I'm going to bring it over, bang, and we're going to switch. Now as I come up, definitely harder on the abs and shoulders, but I'm squeezing that booty to come over, and now I'm getting in the, and you can give me a little love tap like this. Come on up, give me a little round of pound, boom. And our last one,
okay.
this is turning all of these exercises, tweaking it with a little capoeira Brazilified to make them big bang. Come on to the knees. We've all seen this one. We're going to get our legs out. So you've seen this one where people do these donkey kicks. Let's start swinging them. Now this is a half moon kick. This is definitely for the booty. In capoeira,
Nice.
we do this too. It is called a meia lua de compasso. Boom.
Meia lua de compasso.
Take the knee off the ground. Now we make it big bang by taking our knee off the ground. This is almost like doing a plank and a kick at the same time.
Wow.
You got 3, you got 2, you got 1. Come on up. Round, boom, up, boom.
You guys are killing it.
Pound.
Ladies, what do you think about those exercises? You like them?
They're
Love
good.
'em.
They're challenging a little bit, don't they?
Definitely gets you going.
Yeah, and what, let me ask you this. So a lot of folks who are watching this say, Brett, you know, I can't do the modified exercise. What would you recommend? I think that you do what you can. Would you agree?
Do what you can. The lunges, you don't have to go all the way down the ground. You could go halfway. Plank, instead of on your toes, you could do them on your knees. Everything can be modified so that you guys can find an option that you can keep training.
And I love what you say, sweat with soul, because it's really important. It's really important that you're mindful. You know, many people have talked about fitness and exercise, but now it's movement with purpose and mindful movements. And so when Brett talks about it's a feeling and not a look, it's so important. It's so important. You have a Facebook group too, and talks about this. Tell us about that.
It's interesting that you say that, because I was going to say, so I run these 30-day challenges. The Facebook group is called Soul Mob. So it's about having a relationship to fitness that's not just about losing weight. We all want to look better naked, but you got to get in touch with some of the emotion so that you can do this day in and day out. So I actually give everyone that goes through the challenge a mantra.
What is that?
A mantra, well, it's like a one sentence for them. It's almost like their why.
Correct.
So one of the women, she was always looking for approval on her looks. And I said, your mantra is acceptance, not approval. Accepting herself for the way she is instead of always seeking approval from what she looks like.
And it's individual, isn't it? It's not one size fits all.
Exactly.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Sweat with Soul. If you need to find more about Brett Hoebel, that's what you got to find out. He's doing amazing stuff. And it's talking about not just your body, but your soul. So really appreciate you coming on.
Thank you.
We have to take a break. When we come back, what is couch compensating? Well, you're about to find out, so stay with us.
In perimenopause, menopause, and postmenopause, the game changes.
Yeah.
So it's all about hormone balancing fitness. There's a difference. We can still win as long as we change the strategy.
Welcome back, and you're watching the Dr. Nandi Show. Fun show today. Now, research shows that just getting a little bit of exercise, just 10 minutes a week of exercise, is linked to a longer life, and that any type of movement is really better than no movement at all. Now, that's something my next guest and I both firmly believe. She's a fitness professional who helps women flip 50 by finding the right exercise to lose weight and boost energy. Please welcome my friend Debra Atkinson. So glad to have you on.
Great to be here.
Yeah, you're doing amazing things. And you are specifically working with women after they turn 50. Why is that?
That's right. Well, because in perimenopause, menopause, and postmenopause, the game changes.
Yeah.
So it's all about hormone balancing fitness. There's a difference. We can still win as long as we change the strategy.
Yeah, and talk about that strategy. What do you do?
Well, we look at what's causing the problem. So I really want to divorce menopause and belly fat. They need to break up. Menopause and weight gain, they need to break up. And it's all about estrogen, progesterone, and testosterone. We know that.
Yes.
But the one that really is calling the shots is cortisol. So we need to make sure that the exercise we do is less, but of the right kind. And we need to get more movement and eat the right foods and get sleep. So it's all tied in and integrated. And a lot of women just go right to, how do I lose weight? I got to diet and I've got to exercise more.
And they want a quick fix. And this is, I'll tell you, this is a huge problem. So many of my patients talk about it. When they reach 50 or about that, they start really getting concerned. And you talk about two things, right? Pretty important. Couch compensation, I love that term.
Yeah.
And then NEAT. Tell us about those.
We love and hate that term, right?
Yes.
Okay. So the whole thing is, if we're doing too much exercise and you feel like you could take a nap afterward, or even not quite that extreme, but you really want to kind of justify, well, I worked out today, so I can sit, I can rest. It was too much. There's actually a sweet spot, and studies show if you do 1 versus 2 versus 3 times a week, what's best? And it's actually twice. Most people would say, oh, it must be 3 because more is better.
Not always, right?
Those people couch compensated because they're too tired. They kind of left it all at the gym, and once wasn't quite enough to get all the strength and the stamina that you really need. So the sweet spot was twice because those people were then active all day long. They had energy to go up and down the stairs, play golf, play with kids.
So you got to find your sweet spot. And if it means for some people that it's 3, it's okay. Just don't say, I've worked out, so now I can sit around and do nothing.
Exactly.
And all those folks that also go to the gym, but then after the gym, they do nothing whatsoever. That doesn't work either.
Nope.
Now, what about NEAT? What's that all about?
Yeah, that's what the rest of the day is all about, having the energy for non-exercise activity time. We all need to be walking. Maybe we need to think about walking not quite being enough, but it's just something we need to do. So more walking the dog, walking from parking lot to the door a little bit longer. We always hear that, but it's true. It all adds up. Little bits of taking the stairs. Even if you think you're stuck at a sedentary job, standing up drinking a lot of water. So you
Awesome.
have to go down the hall to the bathroom more often. That's a good thing.
That's right. And then you could incorporate that in your life and make it more realistic. Instead of just saying the gym, I'll say, you know what, I'll walk or bike with the kids. You have to have that time. And then you talk about something pretty important, the fast twitch muscle fibers and helping with that. Tell us about that. You're going to have a couple exercises to show us too, right?
I do, absolutely. And here's why it's important.
Yeah.
We have slow twitch and we have fast twitch muscle fibers. We all get some, and we actually have some that can't decide which one they are. But we lose fast twitch muscle fiber twice as fast as we age as slow. Here's why we love fast twitch. Metabolism, and then maybe we should say that again, metabolism. That's important, but it's also important for as we get a little bit older, we need to plan ahead. We trip, we catch our toe on the rug, we hit the curb. We either will right ourselves because we have reaction skills and agility. That's fast twitch muscle fiber. We got to prevent those fractures from ever happening.
That could kill you. I mean, I have a
Exactly.
patient that had one fracture and then it's a downhill, it's downhill from there and then you're in the hospital forever. Now you've had a couple exercises that'll help with that.
I do, because there's two ways you work on fast twitch muscle fiber. So we're going to play a little game here. So we've got to do some reaction skills, some agility. So I'm going to just do quick feet. So if you want to move fast when you're falling, you got to move fast some other time
And you
before
gotta
you get to
practice
that point, right?
Absolutely.
And the other one is
Yeah.
strength training. So are you game?
Yeah, I am. Let me put this down.
You bet. We're going to do a little bent over row. So strength
Okay.
training is good for
Well, you got the heavyweight. She
Oh,
gave me the
I know.
water bottles. No faith.
We got that fast twitch muscle fiber going, but especially if we go here and then we change that. So we're going boom.
Okay.
And then we're going to go slowly down. So we're using a little bit of power.
Got it.
And that means you can go a little lighter. If you're feeling vulnerable, you want to stay safe, you can use power and get some of the same results you can going heavier.
Got it. Wonderful. These
You're
are
looking
easy.
good.
You can thank you. And you can do this at home. These are water bottles.
Exactly.
No exotic equipment. So this is why I love this, that these are exercises you can do at home. We will take a break. Coming up next, how movement helps to detox the body. I'm going to drink these water bottles next. Stay with us.
Our bodies are designed to move, and that's how we function best. That's how we're going to be at our peak state of health and happiness.
Welcome back. You are watching the Dr. Nandi Show. Fun stuff today, I'll tell you. Now, many folks think of exercise as a way to lose weight. And that's fine, right? But I want you to think of movement for what it really is, and that's a tool in the fight against disease and early death, and that's great news. It can help also with cognitive function, improve your mood, boost your energy, help you sleep better, and it can even put a spark back in your sex life. Not bad at all. Now, and the great news is that regardless of your age, it's never too late to get started. Now, my next guest was a lifelong yoga enthusiast who decided to become a teacher, and that meant 200 hours of yoga training at the age of 50. So that's pretty impressive. Please welcome my next guest, Dr. Kim Trager. Thank you so much. Oh, it's my pleasure. Yeah, thank you. And so you decided to become a teacher and choose yoga. How does it really help you? I know you're helping a lot of others, but how does it help you?
Well, picture this.
Yes.
Western Kansas, 12 years old, asthma girl. I wasn't allowed to do a lot of sports.
Oh,
I
sure.
ended up in the ER. So
From
I'm
your
at the-
asthma attack you're
From
talking
the
about.
asthma attack. So I
Okay.
went to the library, found this book on yoga. I was intrigued. Checked it out, read it cover to cover, started doing the poses, the stretches. I was able to do them. The
How
breath
old were you
work.
when you started?
12.
Wow. That's great.
I was
In Kansas?
in Western Kansas. I was determined to find a way to move and not be sick. So it's been a passion of mine ever since.
And you're a chiropractor and acupuncturist. And as now, not as a young girl in Kansas, why is it important to you now?
It's important to me now because it keeps us vital. We have these bodies that are designed to move.
Yes.
And with movement, whatever style of movement that makes you happy, that works for you, that's going to be the one that's going to work for you. So for me, yoga. works for me. I love it. And I like to tell my patients, you know, there is yoga for everyone. So I see part of my role as their chiropractor is to
Yes.
get them off the couch and moving.
That's awesome.
So I will modify poses, I'll modify movements. As a personal trainer, I'll also modify some of what they do in the gym.
And between social media and people watching TV endlessly, I'll tell you, you know, it's such a big problem. The fact that you're doing that, any movement, she said it very well. If yoga is your thing, let's do it. But any movement will help. But yoga is a nice way because you can really do it anywhere. And I listed off a bunch of things in the beginning about why movement is important. But why do you think movement is important for everyone? And not just people say, well, I'm too young or I'm too old. It doesn't really matter, does it?
It does not matter at all. Like I said, our bodies are designed to move, and that's how we function best. That's how we're going to be at our peak state of health and happiness.
You have a demonstration you're going to do for us, right? I'm excited.
I do.
Okay, tell us all about it.
And I too like to incorporate moves, activities into daily life. So say you are, here's
Okay.
a towel for you.
Yes.
You take a simple hand towel. So you can be doing this in the kitchen. You can be doing this after your shower. I always instruct my patients to have the palms facing each other
Okay.
because
it.
when we raise and lower the arms with the thumb up, it's
Yes.
going to be better for the shoulders.
Ah,
So palms are facing each other, so it's a shoulder move. We keep the elbows straight.
okay.
We want to roll the shoulders back and tuck the chin because we're also countering the texting neck. So inhale.
Oh, the texting.
Texting neck. So we inhale as we slowly bring the arms up, feeling the shoulder blades pull down in the back.
Yes.
And while we're here, we can easily go from one side to the other, opening up the ribs, enhancing our breath further. We can rotate, which the spine loves.
That's right.
Take another deep breath in, and then as we exhale, lower the arms. How did that feel?
That's awesome. And
Yeah.
I bet you a lot of people don't even do that. And the key is, again, to me, you know, it's not about going to the gym and lifting 500 pounds, dropping it, and watching if somebody heard that, right? It's really about incorporating movement. Great stuff. Thank you for introducing this concept for some and really emphasizing further. We have to take a break. When we come back, you'll learn a cool pose from yoga's little known cousin, Qigong. Please stay with us.
Just like an acupuncturist might come and stick needles in at particular points in the body to help activate the body's self-healing capacity, we can use Qigong to open the channels that energy flows on and, in a way, be able to do some of our own self-healing.
Welcome back. You're watching the Dr. Nandi Show, and we're having a lot of fun. Now, you're about to be introduced to a millennia-old form of energy. It's a long time. This is a form of exercise and moving meditation as well called Qigong. And here to tell you all about it is licensed acupuncturist and self-care strategist, Brodie Welch. Thank you for coming on. I appreciate it. Oh, of course. And so people hear that word Qigong and they're like, what is he talking about? So what's that all about?
Well, Qigong, as you said, is both a moving meditation and a form of gentle exercise. It's also a way of activating the body's self-healing potential. It's one of the branches of Chinese medicine,
Yes.
so just like an acupuncturist might come and stick needles in at particular points in the body to help activate the body's self-healing capacity, we can use Qigong to open the channels that energy flows on and, in a way, be able to do some of our own self-healing by breathing and moving and uniting the body and mind in this particular way.
That's awesome.
So that we can have less stress, more energy, activate our immune systems, improve our bone density, improve our sleep quality.
That's awesome.
And yeah, the benefits go on and on.
And qi, for those who don't know about Chinese medicine, is that energy flow, right? The energy in your body. And so you're really harnessing your own body's energy instead of taking more drugs and side effects and everything else. I'm not saying throw away your medication, but this can really augment it. And some folks call this a movement multivitamin. Tell us what that means. Why would you say that?
Well, I think of it as a movement multivitamin because different ways that we move our bodies are good for different organ systems, right? So if we want to talk to the lung meridian that is in the arm and goes up into the chest, and if we're dealing with respiratory issues, a qigong movement that might lengthen the lung meridian could be employed. So we can really be our own healer when we understand a little bit about it. Also in Chinese medicine, that the fact that every organ system has an emotion and a dimension of the soul that's connected to it, and so we're really we can affect not only mind, body, and spirit all at once. We can also be practicing in such a way that we are strengthening systems that are chronically weak, right? And at the same time, tying it all together. So it's like you don't have to pick a qigong. There's lots of different forms of qigong, but just because you're practicing something that's supposed to be good for the heart doesn't mean that it's not also going to be good for your bones and your balance and your hormones and all that.
Absolutely. It's like taking a multivitamin. Let's say you take vitamin C. It doesn't mean that only one part of your body is going to benefit. It's many types, right?
Exactly.
Yes. and again, I love the fact that you don't have to take a pill. And do you need to be an expert? How much time do you need to invest in this to really get the benefits?
Well, it depends on which benefits you're talking about, right? That there's some studies that it could be as few as 20 minutes a day, up to an hour a day, is usually where a lot of the benefits are seen. But really, I do qigong as a little 1-minute breathing break several times a day if I just need to reconnect with myself. We spend so much time in our heads. We spend so much time with our focus in the external world and not really focused on even the fact that we have a body, right? We just use it to prop up our heads a lot of the time.
It seems like it, yeah.
And it really can be a way of just coming back to ourselves, bringing our attention inward from the external world to the internal world, uniting the body and mind, getting ourselves breathing. Just breathing circulates the energy. It isn't some woo-woo concept. It's like that we, that we all know that when you go for a brisk walk, when you get breathing and moving, you
really
energize
feel better.
your whole body.
And I think this is nice because it really unites mind and body. Lots of times I talk about that you need to have movement with some purpose and spirituality. This kind of does both at the same time. And you have an example for us here.
Absolutely. Would you like to do
Of
some with
course,
me?
yeah,
All
tell
right.
me what to do.
Great. So this is
stand up?
Yeah, you can stand up. Imagine that your feet are connected to the earth, right?
Okay.
Imagining, because this is part of the fact that we're connected to the environment. And we're going to just inhale and float the arms up out to the sides above the head, gathering energy from the heavens. And we're like magnets in our hands. We're going to lead that energy down to the low abdomen. So just the imagination is an important piece of qigong, is part of that uniting body and mind. And we're going to open the heart, open the shoulders, inhaling, and like the arms are just an extension of the breath. We're lifting them up, and then exhaling, we're guiding the energy down so that we're getting out of our heads, out of the domain of the chest where emotions can get pent up, bringing our energy back down to lower dantian, this place, inhaling up, stretch, exhaling as we come down. So a lot of qigong is just rhythmic and flowing and repetitive, and you can really just sink into it. And when you've done that for a few rounds, you can feed that energy into this lower dantian, this lower elixir field, which is where we can bank the energy for later use and storage.
It's nice. And what I like about this, you don't have to go any fancy place. You can go into your home at all. And people know about yoga, but where can they learn a little bit about qigong?
Well, it's obviously a great thing to learn from someone who's studied. Oftentimes, people who are acupuncturists also have some qigong training. I've done some advanced training in qigong, and I have an online qigong class at my website, which is brodiewelch.com.
Awesome.
And it's the kind of thing where no stretchy pants required, no fancy equipment.
No stretchy pants required. That's
Do it
awesome.
Anywhere, anytime, without getting sweaty.
Sounds good. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much.
I appreciate introducing this concept to so much of our audience. So we have to take a break. Up next, how to get your kids to put down their devices and get them moving. Please stay with us. That's super important stuff.
turn on your favorite playlist, jam the music, and have a dance party in your living room. You would be amazed if you just get down and boogie in your living room for 5 minutes how much you're going to sweat.
Welcome back. You are watching the Dr. Nandi Show. Fun show so far. Now, we all know that kids love their electronics. Mine certainly do. So much so that a recent study found that these devices are actually contributing towards an increasing in sitting time. So not only are kids not getting enough exercise, but all the sitting they're doing is affecting their health. This can raise their risk for diabetes and cardiac disease later in life, and they're an epidemic right now. So here to give you more ideas about how to get your kids moving are Michael Martelli and Barbara Deyo. Mike is a youth exercise specialist and licensed boxing coach, and Barbara is a certified yoga instructor. Thank you guys for being here. I really appreciate it. So Mike, things have changed since you were a kid, and what's been going on? Why are kids not getting any exercise anymore?
Well, on top of the electronics that have overtaken, a lot of it is due to public safety. It's not safe for, so to say, to send your kids out after school, have them come home at dinner time, and then after dinner time send them out to the streetlights come on, which we all did as kids. So with that not happening, the kids don't go out and organize their own sports or their own type of exercises, which we used to do, whether it be kickball, baseball, basketball, playing army, running around backyards, jumping fences. Nobody
just
being
doing
a
something
kid.
physically,
Yeah,
right?
when parents
People are
didn't work.
afraid now to do anything. And it's such an important point because before it was almost included, right, in your activities, and now it's not. And Barbara, your son struggled with weight gain, and he wasn't interested in sports at all, right? What kinds of things did he do?
Well, we couldn't find anything that he liked. Football was too much running. Baseball was too much standing around. Basketball was too physical. You know, he's not into contact sports, so we just had to really search to find something that he enjoyed, and also to find something that he excelled at. And so with us, it was swimming. And he
that's nice.
loves it. And, you know, we have a pool as well, so I would do like supercharged Marco Polo. We'd be outside, and I'd just be lunging and lunging and lunging, and he'd be laughing and running, and we'd make a game out of cleaning the pool. We'd run around in circles to get the water to siphon, and just so doing things that he didn't even necessarily think was exercise. Almost like kind of tricked him. You know, tricked him into moving.
Such an important point, though. I'll tell you, my older son loves swimming, right? So Partha loves swimming, but Sean is different. He likes running around and being chased. You got to meet kids where they are. It's really important. And Mike, you believe that the keys to getting exercise is actually incorporating their movement. Even getting the trash out is something, right? Taking the trash out is an activity, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. You know, we get them moving, taking the trash out, and then on top of taking the trash out, make them take big movements, take them big steps. You know, turn it into a game. Walk like a robot while you take the garbage out. You know, stuff like that. So they're getting that extra movement as they're doing. So the intensity is a little bit higher than just normal walking out the bags or putting them in a wagon and wheel them out to the curb.
Make it fun for them.
Yeah, try to make it fun for them.
And exaggerate their movements.
Right. And there's tons of activities that you could do. I mean, we throw balls for dogs to fetch, but kids like to go get the ball. Take the ball, throw it, and they'll run and get it.
They'll do it.
You know?
But also, and then Barbara, you can speak with this, what kind of role models are parents, right? They're on their phone looking at stuff and not doing anything at all. How important is that we are setting bad examples for them?
We need to lead by example. We need to do it with them. You know, I enjoy running, jogging in the park, and I've been bringing him with me, and he's actually really enjoying it. I think part of it, too, is as parents, we're tired, we get home, we just want to shut down. Well, our kids miss us, and they want to spend time with us. So finding physical activities that we can do together as a family, so that way it's a twofold. You're spending time with your kids, and you're both exercising. Plus, parents need to show that we're willing to put in the time and the effort as well. We don't just expect it out of them.
That's so huge. I know so many parents that will spend an hour in the gym, which is fine, but will not spend a minute with their kids. You know, they'll come home and they'll veg out and they will look at their phone or the kids. If you instead I take my kids on bike rides, pretty fast bike rides, and I think, my heart rate goes up, they're having fun, and I'm spending time with them. So important. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, you know what? Fun for the whole family. Turn on your favorite playlist, jam the music, and have a dance party in your living room. You would be amazed if you just get down and boogie in your living room for 5 minutes how much you're going to sweat, and you're going to laugh, and you're going to have quality bonding time at the same time, as well as burn calories.
Great points. I appreciate you guys coming on. Thank you.
Thanks for
We have to take a
having
break. When we come back, we'll sum it all up with Partha's prescriptions. Please stay with us. Thank you. Welcome back. You have been watching the Dr. Nandi Show. Real fun show today. Today we've talked about simple workouts for all ages. And here's what you can take away from Partha's prescriptions. First of all, you don't need a fancy gym or a training program. As you go about your day, hey, do this. Focus on adding in movement, like walking around your house while talking in your phone. Secondly, if you go for a long walk or take part in an exercise class, don't follow that up with couch compensating for the rest of the day. You know what I'm talking about. Sitting for long periods of time is really, really bad for your health. Also, you can get started no matter what your age. Movement and physical activity can help everyone age well and live longer and live more independent lives. And finally, parents, please be role models for your young kids. Get involved, find fun activities, and get moving as a family. To stay informed about today's topic, learn about healthy living and how to become your own health hero, please visit AskDrNandi.com. Also, we'd love to hear from you. Be sure to search Partha Nandi MD on Facebook and join our Health Hero community. Please also follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Pinterest and join our discussion. Lastly, there's a beautiful word in the Hindi language that literally means the light in me honors the light in you. And that word is namaste. So namaste to each and every one of you. I thank you for watching, and I know I'll see you next time.